let's do, I'm going to kind of do two things in one, and this should be enough for your notes to be able to do the classwork. D squared plus 10D minus 30 equals negative 55. Now, you will have the last few of your classwork are not going to have everything on one side. You may have to move a D, you may have to move a squared. You need to get everything. Remember, this is quadratic form. AX squared plus BX plus C equals 0. You want your A, the best way, I'm not requiring it, but I'm going to say the easiest way to factor it is A to be positive needs to be positive. So if I'm going to move an A squared, I'm going to put that in quotes. Your number in front of your X squared needs to be positive. So if I'm going to have to move a squared, I need to make sure it's going to give me a positive. It's easier to factor that way. Now, the calculator will solve it different ways, you know, easy without a negative there, but you want to move, but you got to get it to where, so I need to move that 55. And sometimes you have to move two things. You might have to move a 55 and a D. You got to get everything on one side equals 0, and I'm going to put it under the 30. So I've got D squared plus 10D plus 25 equals 0. Now, the reason you have to do that, you can't factor this because I put up here for them before Christmas. The zero product property works, but A times B equals 55 doesn't mean, like if I have A times B equals 10, does one of those have to be 10? Does it? It can be, but it doesn't have to be, does it? 2 times 5, 1/2 times 20. I mean, you got infinite choices. I don't know why I wrote that one on there. But this number has to be a 0 for the zero product property. It will not work with 55 or anything like that. Now, this is kind of a unique one because when you factor it, the factors of 25 are 1 and 25 or 5 and 5. It's 5 and 5. Now, I'm going to put a star because for your notes, I want you to know that I didn't lie to you when I told you it was going to have two answers. D plus 5 equals 0, or write this in your notes. D plus 5 equals 0. Subtract 5, D equals negative 5. Subtract 5, D equals negative 5. It has two answers. They are the same. Now, if you're looking at the answer key on a multiple choice on the ACT, they're probably just going to say negative 5 because they don't put repeats. I like to say the answers are negative 5 and negative 5, so you recognize it has two answers. So that makes it a little bit easier. So understand that all quadratics have two. They can be square of 3 squared is 7. They can be a crazy looking, you know, you can have 5 plus the square root of 3 over 12. I mean, you can have those answers like we were having back before Christmas when we were dividing radicals, you know, we're doing those terms. So you're going to see some crazier ones as we get into it. We're going to step away from this. On Thursday, we're going to go into the complex numbers. We're going to review them just a little bit, and then we'll go back and solve them now that cover everything. Okay, I'm going to stop that.